Okay, this is part 2 of the curved spine. I've done my piece of fabric, which I've got, as you know, I've got a 2-inch spine. What did I do? My fabric, about 5 1/4, 5 1/2. It doesn't really matter like that, long as you've got enough each side for the signature. And there's my spine. I tend to put a piece of card in, okay, because I think it stabilizes everything, and also I don't like sewing in to just fabric because I find it moves around, it's floppy. So the piece of card helps me, and I also use that for my grid. So for a 2-inch spine, I sort it out into 3 signatures, which is quite good for 2 inches, which is every 1/2 inch. Yeah, I always mark the top as well. And then that way I usually come 1 inch in from the top and the bottom, and then I'll equal this amount. And it was nearly 1.5 inches, I think. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 1.5 inches. So that worked out great. Then you have to have a template for, oh, gone. Don't know where I put that template because I've already done my holes, you see. I don't know where that disappeared to. It was in the middle of the signature, so found it. I do any width there, it doesn't matter because this is my template. All right, and then once I've done the grid on here, and I know it looks messy, but I cover that with muslin or something like that. So, and you can always put some over the top, it doesn't matter. So I mark all my grid, do all my cross lines, and then mark my holes. All right, and then I'll sort of rub it out, but I did get a bit of glue onto this one because I was doing something else. But anyway, it doesn't matter because it's all covered. So this piece of card is any width, but it's the same, of course, same height. All right, and I usually fold it in half and score down there. All right, which finds me in the middle. Then I will mark that every line that I've used the grid on, and then it's a perfect match. Okay. That's really important that this matches. Right. And then I use that when I make my holes. So I do all mine together. I'll just show you what I do because I've already done it, which I've shown you before. So making sure everything is where I want it. Okay, I put my signatures on top of each other and do them all together. So then I know everything's the same. Oh, I knocked the camera then. Then I put that in there. Okay, that fits. And I go through all the signatures together. Okay, making sure that top says top because that matches the top of the other one. All right, or sometimes you could be 1 millimeter out and things like that, then it doesn't line up. So that's what I do there. Like I say, I do them all together. All right. I don't know whether I've shown you how to stack, sorry. I most probably have, but what I do is I'll do that, then I'll put another one on top, yeah, and then go to the middle and then put the other one in, and then I'll go through all together. All right, then we know that they're all the same. Okay, let's do that. I'll put that one on there for a minute. Keep it all together. Get that out the way. It's hard to show that because of the height of it and on camera, but I think in one of my other videos I have shown it, but I thought I need to get on today. Right, and then I'll thread my needle up wherever it is, which I've done. Okay, and I do 3 lengths plus a bit more. All right. And the bit I'm sticking into, which I most probably said, is my grid. Okay, this is what you see. Okay, this is what you stick your signature into. All right. So I start I start from the back, or the underneath, I should say, and I'm going to do start in the middle. From the back, and then do that. And this is my first signature. Make sure I leave enough to tie off if I need to, which I will, of course. All right, and get to my middle there and go through. This is a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. There. I'm just making sure that's the top. Yep. Didn't do that last check. And through that one. It's hard sometimes to see the holes. That's there. Like me bending forward. So my head might get in the way. I don't tighten up till after. I don't worry about it. And then I'll go in there. Through that one. And I have moved it, so I felt it move. Okay. I do find it hard keeping my head out of the camera because I need to look at what I'm doing. Alright, so yes, in, out, normal sewing there. Okay, and then we get to here. So we've got to fill in that, we've got to go back on ourselves now. Alright, I'll just tighten this up a bit for you. Okay, and then I'll go in the next one down, yeah, there, and then I'll go back through that one. Like that. And then I'll go back through the middle one. Trying not to split the threads. And where have we gone? Yeah. Okay. And then down to this one. There's a hole there. To this one. The last one. And then back through that one. And we're here, okay? So I pull up now. No, sorry. And you see crossover like this. Yeah. You need to get that nice and tight. I always check to see if it's nice and tight here. Alright. I've got one loose one I can see, which is here. Which should come from this way. This is the way we've done it. And then that pulls tight there. I mean, there's probably other ways out there, of course there is. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of do that. Like so, and then I'll pull tight again. Yeah, not too, don't go too mad. And take that off. Just got to make sure that last tug, alright, is tight enough. I'm holding it tight now, and then I'll check here. All right, make sure they're nice and firm, and then tie off. There's plenty of string. Most probably only need 3 times really, and then I go left over right. I swap hands and then go right over left. That's apparently it's a surgeon's knot. But I'll do it again as well. Okay, and when I'm finished, I put glue on all these knots. but then you also, I put muslin over the top and glue again, so it's well in there, if you know what I mean. That's that. So that's one. So I'll go in, sew the other two signatures in, and then I'll be back. Okay, they're all sewn in and all tied off. Okay, that's all nice and firm. Or if you don't like that, you can rub it out a bit, but I cover it. So what I do now is I'll get a piece of muslin and I'll cover over that, and then I'll also, because this is quite thin, I'm going to cover it with a piece of this, all right, right over the top, because this bit, the glue seeps through quite easily, all right, through that, and I think that might help that. So, but I'm going to put the muslin on first. Let's open it out. Let's get the middle. Okay. And also all the glue helps all these knots and things. I'll just put some over that first. Make sure I get the knots. I don't have to overload it. Just I like using light card because I can see my pencil marks. Like I say, this is just the way I do it. There's other ways out there. And don't want too much overhang here because that'll get in the way of the fold. So, like that. Trim a little bit if I need to. Like so. This is a time when you can add lace and things at the top, but I'm okay with that. So this, I'm going to put over there, really, just like that. Okay. I don't want that too thick because, again, it's going over the creases. Let's get my middle. I usually fold it in half to get my middle. And then on there, I can see my middle there. So let's stick that bit down there. Like that. Give that a good stick down. I have quite a bit of gap. I mean, you might need less, all right, or anything like that. This is, again, my way, all right, and I'm always open to change, of course. I think, ooh, but I make these end up quite fat, so it gives me a little bit of room. Okay. I'll glue that to there, but not too much glue because, like I say, if you've got different fabric, yours would be okay, but this is quite thin, this one, but I love it, so go over like that. So. That's that bit done. Right, and then this is going to fit into here. We don't put any glue on that bit, we only put glue on the sides, okay? And try and get that in nice, you know, where that card is there, okay? And then that sits in there, and it should sit in quite nicely. Like you say, you're not adding any glue. All right, do this one-handed. Okay. Let's spread that out a bit. All right, let's have a look. Get that nicely in. Make sure it's centralised. No glue on my fingers. Hoping it's about right. So look, and I'm just going to put a bit of glue on the top there. Extra glue. I don't know whether you can see that. Just run a bead along there. Okay, put some more there. And a bit on that fabric. Just going to check the side. Yep, we're in. Okay. Nothing worse if you're not straight. It's a lot done by eye, really. A lot of it. But that feels quite right to me. So let's have a look. I think that looks alright. And then we've got a bit of space at the bottom. Get a few wrinkles here, but I don't worry about that at all. And then I'll sort these bits out after, okay? As long as the base is down. That's it. And then the same with this side. Okay. I'll just do the paper for a minute and then I'll lift up the fabric and do that bit. Don't want very much glue, but then you don't see it because it's covered. Okay. There's a bit of a lump there, so that's going to come off there. So it's corners where I stitched it around to stop it fraying too much. And there. Lumpy. Okay, not glued yet, so put that down. I want that lifting up now. And I start to manoeuvre it. Let's have a look. Just stretching this out now. Okay, so it's beginning to dry. Okay, now what I do now is I tend to just sort of leave it to dry like that, because at the moment that's sitting perfectly. Okay, we've got a bit of a gap there. You know, it's not too much there, but it's a floating spine, so we've got no sinking in the middle signature. No, that's fine. Yeah, you see. Don't want that coming off, do we? Need a bit of glue there. And that's the way I do it. I think that's drying lovely. So I'm going to go and have some lunch while that's drying, and then I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Right, I've chosen the papers that I want inside. This was done on presentation paper on my inkjet. So of course when I stained it, yeah, it ran, but that's what I wanted. That's why I left it. And it's got a bit of a sheen about it now because I've used the acrylic wax over the top. Okay, it's a base coat and it's supposed to feel like wax. No, it doesn't. It more feels like a laser printed thing, but because this is going on the inside of here, I wanted it protected, even though I must probably put a stuff pocket over here, which, because I like stuff pockets, and the same with the back. I'm not sure what I'll do on the back, but I love the way that page has turned out. The coffee staining like that. It's great. Right, so I'm going to ink that up. Ink it. I've already inked it up, and now I'm going to glue it down. I've also tidied up any loose ends, you know, under here, any bits I don't sort of want hanging around. So I've sort of trimmed up all those. My lid. No, just pick my lid up. Oh. Okay. So I usually leave 1/2 inch, and then you've got half an inch top and bottom, a bit shorter than this, and then you've got 1/4 inch all the way around then. Okay. Just lay that on, and then I'll turn it around so that I can get it quite equal. Usually have to go around the edges a bit more, you know, like these little places here. Okay, right. Let's get that down first. Worry about the edges after. I'll run a bead of glue along like that. And that bit there, I'm going to put something on. Okay, let's see what I do. Just to make sure that's really nicely stuck down. Do the same with this one. I will put one there, and I will also put one on this corner here. The other corner looks like it's well stuck down, so there. Okay, just help some corners to settle in. Yep, that's all right for now. Okay, here we go, and now we'll just leave that to dry now, and then I'll get and finish it off. I might show you a bit of the process of that, because I've got but I do need to get on, because this is going to be a giveaway, so I need to get it finished, and I'll explain later on what you need to do for the giveaway when it's near enough finished. Okay, and I'm liking it. It's lovely. It feels really nice. Okay, I just hope I can keep it clean enough when I do it, because I had to do the cover, because it made usually I leave those sort of covers till last, but I just had an idea and I thought I have to run with it. It's not quite finished yet, but the basis is there, so I know I can work with that now. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you again everybody for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye bye.